Hello friends, this video on graphs part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Topics to be covered in this lesson are introduction, bar graph, double bar graph, histogram, pie chart and line graph. Now, when we talk about graph, before that, let us understand why do we need graphs? What are the situations that we come across in our day-to-day life and where we feel that a graphical representation might help. So, let us look at this example. The attendance of students in a class. Let's say that the attendance for students of class 8 for a particular month, let's say September 2016, is somewhat like this. So what does this shows? This shows that 15 students were present on 1st September, 14 students were present on 2nd September, 17 of them were present on 3rd September and so on. Right? Now looking at this data, if I ask you a few questions regarding the attendance of class 8, for example, if I ask you that on which day in September the attendance was maximum. Now, it's pretty simple for you to answer. You just need to find out on which particular date you have the highest number, like which is the biggest number out of these, and then you can find out on which date it was. But finding out that biggest number out of these numbers, the way they have been written, do you think that it is easy? Not really, because you see, you have written all these, like if there were, let's assume 20 or 21 working days in September, so the attendance for each of the dates have been written by a number separated by comma. Now looking at this data itself, it appears to be a messy data, and it is really very difficult to analyze data given in this format because the data is not well organized, right? So that is where comes the concept of organizing data. And the moment we talk about organizing data, we gradually come up with techniques which help us to organize data. So, okay, organizing data is one thing. So maybe we can put them in a table form, but then how do we better represent data? So representing and organized data in a better form is where we introduce graph, and that is where graph helps. Now, if these questions are asked, that how many students were absent on a particular day, or who is the best attendee, or so any question of this sort can be easily answered when your data is well organized. Similarly, let us take one more example. Let's say that this is the shopkeeper, and you need to analyze the shopkeeper's sale for a particular year, or maybe for different items in a year, because in his shop he sells a lot of different items. So now you see it shows the sale in rupees for different items in a year. So now several questions can be asked if you analyze this data, like which items give better sales, so that he can plan his inventory accordingly the next year. For example, let's say that if this shopkeeper runs a stationery shop, he might be selling pens, he might be selling pencils, he might be selling notebooks. Now, if he realizes that notebooks gives a better sale for him when compared to pens, then maybe the next year he can keep more stock for notebooks. Right? So analyzing data helps in proper planning in future. Or if you are asked which month gives better sale, or which items are slow moving, which items are not sold very frequently. So when your data is well organized, in that case answering such questions become very easy. So basically organized data helps us to better analyze the data. And where does graph come? Graph is nothing but representation. It is a better way of representing data. In fact, better way of representing organized data. So that's where we talk about graph. Now let's talk about the different graphs that we use to represent data. So it is just one way of representation, but it is an easier way of representation. Now let's take this example. So let's say that this teacher asked the students of the class that which is their favorite fruit. So the teacher gave some 4 options of fruits, and the students were to pick one of those, like out of apple, mango, banana and grapes, which is the fruit that is most liked by the students. Now each student gave his or her option, like they chose their own option. Some said I like apple, some said that I like banana, some went for grapes, and while a few others went for mango. So now everybody has their own specific choices. Now if the teacher is asked to represent this data using a graph, now there are many ways of representing this data. One way is the teacher can just write the favorite fruit for each student, giving commas like apple, comma, mango, comma, grapes, comma, banana, comma, grapes, and so on. So that's one way. But do you think that that is a very effective way of representing the data? No, because looking at that data, you will not be able to analyze that data properly, right? But instead, if the teacher prepares a graph like this, like what you see on the screen, you see it very clearly tells you that how many students like apple, how many students like mango, how many of them like grapes. So looking at this data, you do not even need to bother about the numbers. Just by looking at the graph itself, you can answer a couple of questions. For example, which fruit is liked by most of the students in the class? Very quickly you can tell that that's apple, because the bar for apple is the tallest. So that means that it represents the highest number. So 50 students in the class like apple. Similarly, which fruit is disliked by most of the students in the class? So that would be banana, because only 20 students like banana. So you see, when you represent data using graphs, so the graph, looking at the graph itself, you get a lot of information about that entire set of data. So that's how graphical representation of data helps. Now we will learn in more detail that how exactly do we draw a graph and what are the various ways to interpret a graph. But as of now, what I can tell you is this graph which you see here is an example of a bar graph. Now graphs are also of many types. So this is a bar graph because we represent data using rectangular bars. You see, these are all rectangles. There are 4 rectangles which have been used here. One rectangle for each fruit. Right? So that's why this is a bar graph. Now, you have often seen graphs in newspapers. For example, if you look at the weather report section of the newspaper, many a times, just to show that how the weather has been changing in the last few days, graphs are being drawn. Now, graphs are also used to show the sale of a particular company, like how the performance of the company, how is it changing in the last few months or in the last few quarters. So these are some of the places where you see the usage of graphs. Now let us talk about the types of graphs. So when it comes to the types, the first type would be bar graph, where rectangular bars are used to denote the numbers. Second is a line graph. So here you do not have the rectangular bars. Instead, it's like small line segments which are connected to each other. Like this is a line segment, this is another line segment, this is yet another line segment, this is one, and so on. So these are like small line segments. All of them are connected to each other, and normally line graph helps you to tell the pattern of a particular change. Like just now I was telling, like, right, if you want to show how the weather has been changing in the last few months, you can make use of a line graph. So looking at the line graph, you get an idea if the temperature has been increasing in the last few months, or the temperature is kind of fluctuating, sometimes more, sometimes less, or the temperature is kind of, falling down. So just by looking at the line graph itself, you can get an idea about the change in temperature. Pie chart. So in pie chart, you represent it in the form of a circle, and how much part of the circle is for what. So like basically, whenever we talk about pie chart, all that comes to my mind is a pizza. Like in pizza, you have different slices. Right? So like each slice of the pizza in a pie chart, each slice from the pie chart gives you a particular number or denotes a particular number. So these are the 3 basic types of graphs.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.